Gender rights. Bath time. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. My tummy's better. Thank you for asking. But unfortunately, I've got a broken nail on my toe from training yesterday.
So does that mean you're not playing on Sunday?
No, of course I'm playing. It's just really annoying.
You're not a Man United player. You play with broken nails, yeah?
Yeah.
Yabba. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Looking forward to the weekend. Football Sunday, Villa Park, and it's one of the it's sort of like seems like a scary place to go right now. Especially where they're playing. They had a great victory against Bayern Munich, and per most people will be writing us off. But we're here to talk about the game, and hopefully by the end of the show, people will be a bit more enthusiastic about what we do against Villa.
Oh yeah, but forever the optimist, man. I love you, brother. I love you, man. I am Titanium. Good evening, my amigos. Jeff, big up all. Get me through my hour rehab today with laughs and not tears. We'll see what we can do. Stuart is saying evening all. Matty, big up. And yeah, you can waffle. Oh, I am Titanium. I'm sorry. He's bigging up the panel. Where are my manners? Simon Warner, greetings to the three amigos. You've used that one already. And who else have we got in here? But look, I tell you, he's just not a Liverpool fan, man. He's just not a Liverpool fan. But how are you, man? I hope you're doing well, guys.
Sorry, I have to cut you there, Mr. B.
Go on.
Can't ask Bath Time how he is. Ask me how I am. How are you?
Bro, it's Friday, man. It's the best day of the week.
So how's your week? How's your week been? I mean, how are you feeling?
I'm blessed. I got my game tomorrow. I haven't got a goalie again. I'm not stressing. I think my defense will do the job. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm not worried. I'm not going to stress myself about Manchester United. I'm good. I'm blessed. You know what? Look, it's Friday. Clink, 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 clink. If you can guess what's in the glass.
I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah, don't say a word, bro. Don't say a word. I'm happy. Yeah, right. My ass. I'm in a very, very good mood today. I'm in a very, very good mood. I had a hard day at work, and I'm on my wind down now. So I'm joined by you guys. I want to feel like you about the game. I want to feel like you about the game. So I'm here. I want you to try and convince me that we are going to do a job on Villa.
Yeah, I just want to say, can you just show us your shirt? Because we got merchandise. We have got merchandise.
Have we?
Let's say we, me and you. Yeah. Just show me. I haven't seen that for a while. You got a quote on there.
Let me see.
At the end of the day.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's your famous quote. Because I was asking you the other day, is there something you say regular?
Oh, do I say that?
Well, why have you got any shirt? What?
I'm sure that's what Solo said I said.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard you say that for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I haven't. Or maybe I did.
I'm fairly sure you haven't, because that turn of phrase is very often misunderstood what it actually means.
What does it mean?
Like if you say at the end of the day he's a good lad, right? Common expression. What it actually means is that when it gets dark, he's not a good lad.
No, I like that one. I like that one.
Explain it to Yabba. It's gone over his head.
At the end of the day,
yeah,
then the day turns into night. So he's good during the day, and the nighttime he's a bad man. You still don't get it.
Let's see by the end of the show if I get that.
It's exactly but it's exactly the same as he is as honest as the day is long. Meaning he's dishonest when there's no sunlight about, so he can get up and do bad stuff because no one can see him.
All right, I can figure that one out. The first one, at the end of the day.
Yeah, after the day becomes night. So at the end of the day, he's good until the end of the day.
Yeah, but when we're saying the word at the end of the day, it's like saying, look, Holland is really fast, but at the end of the day, he's not a good striker. That's I'm using a sentence.
Yeah,
like
that's the common usage of it. But it's like, for example, people say like Rome wasn't built in a day. Do you know the rest of that expression?
No.
Why? Oh, there's another.
Yeah, but it burnt in a night.
That was
So why
London.
don't never say that?
That was 966. Sorry, the 1666 fire.
Yeah,
Not 1666
also
fire.
that one in
Is that
Casimir
Guy
Lane.
Fawkes? Guy Fawkes one.
No,
Not Guy
he's
Fawkes.
talking
No.
about Pudding Lane. Where
1966. 1666 is Pudding Lane. Is Pudding Lane.
1666 is Pudding Lane.
Yeah.
So what happened in Pudding Lane? That's not Guy Fawkes then. So when was Guy Fawkes?
I don't know actually. Is it like 12?
Guy
1266, let's say.
Would have been around 1600s as well, I imagine.
I have no. Somebody in the chat.
They're gonna Google it. It's not like they could be very bright. They're just Googling. Things for them. Put them on the spot and put them on the show and ask.
I never said that, guys. I never said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, I was right. Guy Fawkes is the 1600s.
Okay.
James the
Wow,
First. Yeah. James the First was from Scotland.
The Bible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. King James, the Bible. That's what I know about that. But guys, can we at some point then throw in the phrase while we're talking tonight at the end of the day and see if anyone catches it?
All right, I've actually got a game that I'd like to play, and since we're being a bit frivolous now,
It's Friday.
Yeah, right.
Friday
Yabba.
frivolous.
As always, Premier League players only. Okay, not going back to the 70s.
Yeah.
For defense, midfield, and striker, or winger, whatever, I want you to combine two players to make the perfect player. So, for example, the one I've come up with is Daniel James and Juan Mata.
Yeah.
I think that would be a hell of a player. So I want you to think about that during the show.
I'll think about it during the show, yeah. At the end of the day, I'll come up with something.
Nice.
See if you can throw it in, Mr. B, at the end of the day. And I'll be thinking while we're chatting about Villa, about the perfect player. Combining. Do we have to call them like Daniel Mata? Is that how you
No. Well, no, you can if you want.
Or Jean, what's the other way around? What's Mata's first name?
McVeron. Wow.
Oh my God. Look at somebody not someone's gonna come in and say McFred.
Yeah, no, someone's gonna say McFred.
Yeah.
I bet you people are gonna say Keenan Robson and miss the point of it.
Yeah.
Like you want like Falcao and Rasmus or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Before
That's
can I
interesting
get
one.
my slides out of the way? So we
Yes,
can
of
actually
course
have
you
some
can.
fun?
Yeah.
Can I just hope
Injuries.
everyone's relaxed? It's Friday. I hope everyone's relaxed and enjoying the show. It's a bit more of a relaxed one, and we're going to be here. I'm going to put my feet up and enjoy this one. Come on. No sweat.
These are the injuries that the villains have. Aston Villa. My great love, Tyrone Mings, is still out. John McGinn, my other love, is out. Kamara completely out. Ramsey, there's only so 25% is the chance of them playing. So Bailey and Ramsey, unlikely to feature. Onana he's probably going to make it, to be honest. Amadou Onana, who is a real player. Which is, I mean, if all them are out, that's really good. That's a lot of their first team.
I want Tyrone Mings to be playing personally.
Well, he's got no knees. He's a better defender
That's why I want him to play.
He's a better defender than Lisandro Martinez. I'll tell you that for free.
He
is.
Randy's a better defender than Martinez at the moment.
Well, get her on the pitch.
So is Ramsey definitely out? Yeah, 100% out.
No, he's 75% out.
It's not enough.
The big one for me is John McGinn. I think he's like, you need a player like that on every team, don't you? Someone who's, come on, let's have it, gives it his all, and just a leader and a brawler and a tough guy. He's John McGinn. I like him a lot.
Do you think he's a tough guy?
I think he's a tough guy. Yeah, of course. I've heard some stories. You hears footballers talking about their teammates, and he's always seems to be that guy in the changing room who's funny, tough, doesn't shriek in challenges, a leader, and represents, and people have to follow that lead. All these foreign players that turn up, they realize, you don't mess with John McGinn. These are the standards we want, and that's what I like about him. He's a real sort of old school kind of player in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, I love John McGinn. I'd love him at the club. But to get these out of the way, the absolute villains that are injured, you get Yoro Malacia out. Sure, 25% chance of playing. Imagine that. If Luke Shaw turns up. And then Kobe and Mason, 50-50. So the rest of them all fit.
Just can we just talk about the bottom one there, Mason Mount, head face injury. Now he's been getting a lot of stress from fans because he's always injured. We paid a lot of money for him. He hasn't delivered, and he's got injured again. I didn't know it was a face injury. Do anyone any more details about that?
Yeah, he got cut. He got cut and needed stitches.
So he can't.
Whereabouts in his face or head?
His head. The back of foot was his head.
All right, I didn't know that.
Just for a fucking plaster. You didn't get concussion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I imagine that, like, if you've got, the thing is that that's probably very easy to open that cut, and then there's blood everywhere and things like that. I personally don't think he'll play.
Okay. No, he ain't playing. Fair enough.
All right, I've only got two more. One, we all know this, that the whole gang is flying in on Tuesday. Yeah, to have a chat. All of them. And remember, someone is flying in, so it's an important chat. And in some completely unrelated news, Yabba, Manchester United have to announce any significant changes, such as the manager to the New York Stock Exchange. The stock exchange opens at 2:30 UK time until 9 p.m. UK time. So if Ten Hag is going to go, we're going to know between those times, probably on Wednesday.
So this is why you kept saying by Monday we might hear something.
Yeah, we're not going to hear any. I mean, I don't think it's technically illegal to sack him over the weekend, but because it affects share prices and so on, they have to tell the New York Stock Exchange before they tell anyone else, basically. So right. Ten Hag is going to be safe until Monday, 2:30 at the minimum. All right, so good. That's out of the way. You can do the comments now, Mr. B, if you want. No more slides.
All right, let me get these off here. I thought, didn't I start more than that? Fucking hell. Right, you know what? As this is the preview, let's get this. Let's get the we'll get the game ones out of the way, and then we'll go back to our mix of players. But guys, I have seen a couple in the comments. You would have Puyol and Vidic. I'm not sure why. If we do, we need a kind of explanation as well. Why? Because we've obviously chosen Juan Mata and Dan James because Mata's got no pace, but he's got the touch of an angel. So those are the kind of, that's the way that we're going when we're choosing our double players there. Yeah. Simon Warner saying, I'm dreading the game. I'm not sure what's worse, my time or the hospital ward or this game. Shit. Sorry, man. Let's see. I'll keep those double ones. Simon Warner again is saying Watkins will be a goal threat. Whew. Lucky Singh. Let's see if I can understand what he's saying. Harry Singh. Harry Maguire. Sorry, spot on. If want win games, football, brilliant teams, we have strong defensive shape. Okay. Why did you not start that to wind me up? Average Ballers FC, Bruno Fernandes, Lindelof, Rashford FC. Okay. I didn't start those, by the way. Here we go. You know what? Let me start that one. Here we go. But Thuram will be a bigger goal threat than Watkins. Do you think he's going to start? That's more intriguing. And if we lose, Simon Warner saying, if we lose to Brentford, then that's it. I'm not sure. You're back. I take it you were taking a dump, Jeff, and you couldn't bring your name back over there.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
There you go. Keep building, Jeff. If Maguire didn't come on, I wonder who Ten Hag would have picked. Have I misread that question?
I think like the best interpretation of this is that if Maguire hadn't come on and scored, who would Ten Hag have picked on Sunday?
Okay, so you think that Maguire's in the team for Sunday now because he scored a goal? I'm asking.
I can't ask for Simon.
Yeah, I've just. You know what? Yeah, it's a Friday, man. I'm drifting to somewhere maybe I shouldn't have been on before the show, but look, it's the way it goes, man. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. You were talking about injuries to the team. Tottenham didn't have Song, and they gave us a 3.
Yeah,
you know,
but they're missing their first choice midfield, Villa. I would think
all 3 of them.
McGinn, Ramsey, and Anna.
I think Onana plays anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the only kind of like consolation I think we've got is that they're coming back down to earth, Villa, from the best result in their history since. Did they win something with Savo Milosevic in the early 90s, Yabba? A Coca-Cola Cup or something like that?
Yeah, they did. I think it was 93. They beat us 3-1 in a League Cup final.
Yeah. It was definitely Savo,
and then they won,
wasn't it?
a few years after that, they won another League Cup final with York and Milosevic scoring goals as well. But yeah,
okay.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but so basically that will have been like beating Bayern will have been the highlight of Villa for 25, 30 years, maybe.
Yeah.
They'll have celebrated it. I'm pretty sure they'd have had a couple of drinks because it's such a huge result and you have to celebrate those. It's not about being unprofessional. It's about living in the moment and stuff. And United, we're hurt, like we're in pain. Hopefully it's going to be like a wounded animal and it's death strokes or whatever the expression is. And that's the only chance I've got is that they're going to be a little bit dozy, a little bit off it because they've been on cloud 9 for 3 or 4 days.
Good shout. I think that's a really good point there, you know. Honestly, I mean, the whole city you can see how the atmosphere was at Villa Park the other day. And imagine that, like how many years to the day you had Gary Shaw passing away, who was a hero of 82 this year. And that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
He had a really bad accident, quite young as well. He passed away, and that was emotional for the Villa fans. Villa's a big club. We don't forget that's second biggest city in the country. And then to be playing Bayern Munich on their return to the Champions League, the team that they beat 1-0 in the final in 82, and they've gone and beaten them 1-0 again. And it's just like, I mean, you couldn't write this. You couldn't make this up. It must be so emotional right now. And to get back down to earth and play Man United, it's a big week for Villa. And this is what happens when you reach the big time. And I just think there was a lot of suggestions that when Villa got to the Champions League, people were questioning whether they would make top 4 again because of the pressures. Well, look what happened to Newcastle. They got in the Champions League last year. And then they sort of faded out because they couldn't maintain that. To maintain the Champions League and the league and still get top 4, which Arsene Wenger did for so many years as well, and Alex Ferguson, is a difficult thing to do. But you need to be practiced in it. And I just got a feeling Villa might drop off. And when you see the injuries there, that's a result of giving 110% on a Wednesday and a Saturday. It's tough for them, and they're not used to
Sunday.
it. So, yeah, Sunday as well. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, but if you were in their position, like both Newcastle and Villa, I would absolutely prioritise the Champions League over the league that year because you never get in it, and it should be an adventure, as it were. And I think that they've had 2 wins, haven't they? They won away somewhere.
That's right. Young Boys, I think, was it?
Yeah. Maybe, Young Boys or so. I think that's right. I think that Villa will be looking at trying to squeeze as much money out of the Champions League as possible this year to be able to hang on to a lot of their players. Like when Ollie Watkins' contract negotiations come up, he's genuinely like a 250k a week striker now.
Yeah.
Like
how old is Ollie Watkins?
I don't know. 27, 28, I'd imagine.
Is he older than that?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought he was nearly 30. Okay. Sorry. Wrong.
Just one thing, Mr. B, looking at the chat, people are once again not following instructions. It's a United player with a United player. You can't be sitting there combining Yaya Toure with JJ Okocha.
Oh my gosh. I've been making notes here of players. But you said all from the Premiership.
Yeah, you've got black and white again, have you?
Yeah, I saw some people. Someone put Poyle in there earlier in the chat, and I think he doesn't play in the Prem. I thought it was just Premiership players combined.
No, United players.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's different then. I'm going to have to scrap all these notes that I've been doing right
Yeah,
now.
Tell us the notes you've got.
All right, so I put a lot of thought into this. So I've got Tony Daly, extremely fast, and John Barnes. Combining those two together, give John Barnes a bit more pace and Tony Daly's pace, and that would be Tony Barnes. Second player is Carlton Palmer and Two-Guy. I think Two-Guy.
That's a great one. That's a great one. That's a really, really good one. I see it.
Two-Guy is such a fantastic playmaker and thing. But if he had that engine in him and that aggression, he would be world class, one of the best players ever. For goalkeeper, I've got Schmeichel. He's got a great throw him in. He used to set off our attacks with a long throw to the halfway line. And then we got a kicker with Onana. That's two Man United players. Up front, I've got Niall Quinn because he's unstoppable in the air, and Tony Cottee, who's a great finisher, mobile and could twist and turn in the box, fox in the box. Right back, I've got Dan Petrescu, and he was really good, talented. I thought he was one of the better right backs that we had for a long time. There was a time when everyone said, who's the best right back in the Premiership? And I always felt that he was the best right back, up until modern day. We're getting better players now. And Walker, Carl Walker, that
nice.
Dan Petrescu. Centre back, I've got Martinez and Des Walker, because you never beat Des Walker, and he needs that pace of Des Walker.
It does.
And he would be an all-round player. He'd be great. And lastly, two Man United players on the right-hand side. I've gone for David Beckham because his delivery was magic, and Kanchelskis because he could just, if David Beckham could do what Kanchelskis did, with that ability to cross.
What? Not Valencia.
No, Kanchelskis was scored like enough goals. I think he was a bit more direct than Valencia, and he would just put touch, and just dribble directly and score goals. But the combined Beckham and Kanchelskis, Andre Beckham, you'd have a great player there. So I messed it all up, but you can see where I was going with that.
I like Two-Guy and Carlton Palmer.
Yeah,
that's a brilliant one.
That was a good one.
All right.
Right, we've got a couple of names in it anyway, but we'll leave those ones. I want to get the games on. Right, so Big G is saying we have problems at left back. Bailey is going to have a field day, but he's injured. So you'll have to think it's a good job that wasn't a super chat, innit?
Yeah, treat all the comments as super chats and just assign an arbitrary number to them.
Right, here we go. This one is from We Deserve Better. I hear you, Yabba, not that one. But they are playing United. They can play their second string against us and still win. I think this is when we were talking about the midfield situation. Tyrone is saying, I've come to the realization that many fans of United have become far too entitled. The media don't help either. Everyone banters United fans like Man United are the only great club to decline. We're the biggest club to decline. Put it that way. Solo in the house. I hope you're doing well, man. Where you gone? 18 in the chat. I did see your message, Solo, and I hope you're not out there in the cold. Right. The game coming up. Can we have some score predictions from you guys?
Can we see the Solo 11 first before we give score predictions?
Oh shit, yeah, of course. Sorry. Wait with the score predictions. As Solo's coming right on cue. We're gonna get his 11 up. Right, let me take that off there. And what are we thinking, guys? Oh, I heard a wow. Okay,
is it Matt Martinez?
There's two wows for me in this one.
Come on.
Okay, I'll start. Yeah, so the first wow for me is that Solo's finally come round to realising Harry Maguire is a solid Premiership player and needs to play. Before these guys get bedded in, I'm talking about Martinez as well and De Ligt. We need someone there who's going to be secure. And after scoring the other day, he hasn't let us down, has he, this season? He's come on. played the first couple of games, then willingly got benched, sat there, came on, scored the other day, saved our souls when we were 2-3-2 down away from home. And I think he deserves to start. And I think it should be just on merit. Harry Maguire, take a bow. Thank you for what you've done to us for the last few weeks. The other wow for me is up front, because I don't particularly think that I saw anything overly exciting. It's just that we're getting the opposite. There's two opposites, isn't it? With the two strikers that we have, or forwards that we have, with Haaland and Xerxes. Now, I think what it is, people got gassed because they saw Haaland doing things that Xerxes doesn't tend to do. And they're like, oh, look, he's direct. He goes
score.
Yeah, well, yeah. They've both got one goal this season. But, they saw him running with the ball and, trying to twist, be direct. All things that Xerxes doesn't do. So people forget, they're different players and say, oh, that's what we want to see. I still don't think Haaland is the right guy. I still think we should persist with Xerxes. So I'm a bit surprised by that. But I understand it by, people being turned on by what they saw the other day.
I mean, my first surprise, Mr. B, was Yabba saying that Maguire done nothing wrong this season, when I seem to remember him diving in on the halfway line
and he's still sliding.
Yeah. But I do agree. I think that will be the back four that starts. But I still have issues about Dalot playing at left back, because he was player of the season last year at right back, and we've taken him out of there, and we've also got him inverting, which is perfectly fine. But Martinez could not cover those spaces. Like, absolutely not. We've seen, like, whatever, some plumber did him last night. We saw Traore do him, and we'll see the Philogene, I think, is the replacement for Bailey. We'll see him do Martinez if Martinez starts. So I worry about the pace in that back three, back four. As for the rest of the team, Rashford. Ten Hag's put himself in a bit of a hole, I think, by saying he took Rashford off for rotation.
I tell you what.
Tell me.
I think he's a dick for saying
Which
that.
one?
But I think Ten Hag's a dick
for
saying that he took him off for thingy and not tactical. But what I will say, so I don't know who sent me it. Nearly 80% of the goals we've conceded this season have come down our left-hand side.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. You look at the Liverpool game, all of the goals came down that side. This game, obviously, Martinez was getting his bumhole opened up, trying to catch the guy. So there was a lot of, if you look, I know, but you'll work bath time. You'll have your way of working it out and find. But yeah, we have conceded a shitload of goals on that side. So
yeah. It's one of two things. It's either that there is a problem between Delict and Mazraoui, and teams are focusing that, like getting the ball over from the right-hand side is their best route to goal. Or, as I suspect the point you're making is that Rashford's like defensive play means that it's easier to get in down the right time and time again. So by the volume that is coming down that side because of Rashford.
Can I say, sorry, you see in the format, you see the season that Rashford scored his goals, he wasn't really asked to defend much.
Yeah.
Do you think that, obviously he couldn't trust him last season because he didn't, but to me, Rashford is looking pretty sharp, a lot sharper than he did last season.
Yes.
I'm not saying build a team around Rashford, but
maximize him.
Yeah, I don't think he should have him having to track back and having to run forward. He, at the moment, it was a joy to watch him, and the fear that he's putting in these left, he just picks up the ball and runs out there. That's fine. But now he seems to be, or have the confidence. All right, understand the goalie didn't cover himself in glory on was it yesterday?
Last night.
Last night, yeah. Didn't cover, but if you don't shoot, you don't score. And he did that, and he got the assist but he was still taken off. Me personally, I have a theory. This is just my opinion, by the way, that Rashford told him about his arse in the changing room. He you know, because he did one of the goals. Rashford turned his. I said it on the watch along as well. He didn't face up. Take the ball and be brave. You know what I mean? Take the ball in your face. Take the ball in your stomach. Take the ball in your balls. You know, it's not going to kill you. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he kind of turned his back. So I think Ten Hag might have said to him, blah, blah, blah. And Rashford said to him, you know, and Ten Hag with his discipline, he's disciplining himself. Well, all right, then you ain't coming out second half. That's what I think's happened.
Well, something else has happened as well, Mr. B, previous to this, because Rashford went on a scoring spree, didn't he? And then he got dropped. And they said it was for rotation. And that's the first time I've ever seen a player that's on a hot streak be taken out for a Premier League game. Like, there's definitely something has happened between Ten Hag and Rashford where Ten Hag just doesn't trust him. Well, even when he scores goal and assists.
I say this. I've seen some really interesting footage recently. It's Luis Enrique and Mbappe. Have you seen it? When they're in the review room where they're reviewing games, it's like a little cinema, small little cinema, and he's going off at him for for a long time, talking to him about defensive responsibilities, and he's showing him with the screen how he's not defending properly. And the reference he used was about Michael Jordan. He said Michael Jordan was a great player. Obviously, he feels Mbappe is a great player, but Michael Jordan worked hard off the ball, not just on the ball. So he was highlighting to him how the team would improve if you done more defensive work off the ball for the sake of the team. But then there's a quote from Dennis Bergkamp that always rings home with me. It's about, he said, because he knows he's talented, it's about energy during the game. He said he wants to conserve his energy for when it's showtime. He gets the ball in certain areas, so he's not tired, his mind's ready, his mind's sharp, and he can deliver in the final third. And you think, okay, well, you're that good, you can get away with that, you can do that. But those days are gone. I think we're at a situation now where teams have to, there's no luxury players anymore. Everyone has to put a shift in somehow. You look at someone like Saka, he's not the most skillful. He doesn't do step overs and everything else, but he's so very effective for the work rate he has. You can see him tracking back and doing all the work. That's why managers can trust him. But then Rashford cannot afford, like Mbappe, just to think, right, I'm doing a better Dennis Bergkamp mindset and focus on himself and getting in positions where he can do damage. He's got to be playing for the team. And I think it's up to Ten Hag or any other manager to get the best out of this team. You have to demand that Rashford does more. And I was so pleased to see Luis Enrique telling Mbappe the same thing, because they've never won the Champions League with PSG. So even when they had Messi and Neymar, they couldn't do it because of everyone else do the donkey work for these three just up front, just to think it's showtime. It doesn't work. You don't win anything like that.
Can I add a little bit of context to what you said, like Yabba? Yeah. I think first of all, you might have misattributed that Dennis Bergkamp quote. I'm fairly sure that Klinsmann said exactly the same thing when he was in the Premier League.
Oh, like 100% is Dennis Bergkamp said that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, okay, that's two top players, like two of their country's best ever strikers that have said that. But with the Mbappe Enrique clip, I think that one of the important things about it was they knew that Mbappe was going, and he said to him, like, I don't want you going out the back door. I want you going out the front door, like with your head held high, because you're a wonderful player. But the thing is, you've also got to be a leader, and you've got to lead defensively. Like, and that was the thing. It was that he had to take charge of that defending the same way he takes charge of attacking. And that, I think, is really important, because Mohamed Salah is a player that I always say is the most ordinary world-class player that I've ever seen. Like, and he is world-class, but he does something that Ahmad and Rashford never, ever do, which is he wins 50-50s all the time. Like Salah is incredible for winning his defensive duels and setting Liverpool off on a counter press. And it's what I would love to see from some of our wide men is like seeing defending as an opportunity to score, because that's what a press is. Like that's what a counter press is. It's being in control of a situation where you don't have the ball. And the thing about Rashford, I think the reason he was taken off is because we had no control over any defensive situation with Marcus on the pitch.
Yeah, but surely,
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that I think that's why.
Surely, I just, whatever the reason, I mean, it's not like we were 4-0 or 5-0. It was 2-2.
Yeah.
And that's why I think there was more to it than just. Look,
Is this not what you want to see, though, Mr. V? I understand you disagree with the decision, right? And it seems crazy that Rashford had the bit in between his teeth. He didn't just have his fullback on toast. He had all their team on toast, like in that first half. But he wasn't doing what the manager wanted him to do, like in the defensive moments. And we're bad at scoring goals, but we're probably worse at defending. So I can understand why Ten Hag did it, but I think it's ridiculous to do it now. This should have been done two seasons ago. Like the only time I can recall him doing it is when he held Casemiro off at half-time against Brentford.
Yeah, and Casemiro was playing shit.
Yeah, I think it's
so the person right. So
okay.
the person who got you the 2 goals, well, you took off. He couldn't have taken Ahmad off.
I think he should have.
Interesting, very interesting. There's a reason. I'm sure the reason will come out soon. But
what was that? Right back was the reason.
What,
Mario Gomez or whatever. He was constantly crossing from the right hand half space to the back stick where Mazraoui was having to head over. All their chances were coming from the right hand side, and Rashford was probably. I haven't looked at it, but I think he was incredibly disorganized in the press and in the block. He was jogging a bit too much. He didn't show the desire to get behind the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was taken off.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. But this thing is, the fans, all they see is the positive. They see going forward. They think, oh, Rashford has had him on toast. Rashford's doing so well. How can they take him off? Oh, Eric Ten Hag doesn't know what he's talking about. But when you really break it down and look at what they were doing and how they were getting these crosses in, from, as Mr. B mentioned earlier, from areas where we've conceded a lot of goals this year, down that side, then it's good that he did. He was very bold of him. And maybe he's coming to the end of his tether, but he's probably saying, this is what I should be doing in the first place. You're off. You're not listening. I'm going to tell you about yourself at halftime. You need to do A, B, and C. And his reaction probably got him dragged off in the first place, because you've got to be able to take a sting from time to time. Everyone's going to get it from a manager at some point, no matter how good you think you are, and you have to do the work. That's what I'm saying. So it's really important that we can see it and the manager can see it, but Rashford needs to actually have the right attitude to be able to take it on his chest and say, right, I'm sorry, boss. What you should be saying is, sorry, boss, I'll try better.
Yeah, I don't think he did that. Yeah, do you know why I don't think he did that, Yabba? Is normally you get 10 minutes or 15 minutes to show that you've listened to instructions. He was hauled at half-time. I'm with Mr. B. I think that Rashford started talking back in the dressing room. Yeah. Essentially, they know he's done.
And you've got to think, Garnacho played that second half with a knee brace.
With the what?
With, he played it with strapping on his knee, Garnacho.
Oh, yeah.
And, Ten Hag doesn't really play players, even if they've got a cold. That's why I feel that it was more maybe look, we don't know. We're not there. It'll come out. It'll come out. When he's gone, it'll come out. But who knows?
Okay.
Are we happy with this team? Do we feel that this team has got a chance of winning? I know, obviously.
I'll just throw this out, because when I'm thinking about Villa, I think if you match them physically, because they're so big and strong, and you just got to match them. And so when I'm picking the team, I'm thinking, I'm going to pick a team that can go toe to toe with them at Villa Park, and then we can see if we got any talent beyond that. to do the business. Now, we were just talking about Rashford. Does he play? Everyone's saying he's shoo-in to play. But after the discussion we had, we've got to realise that's one player that could be letting us down. You know?
No, he's got it because of what Ten Hag said, Yabba, he has to play.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But he has to do what Ten Hag requires of him defensively, off the ball. I think Kobe's a shoo-in. I think for his talent. But we need someone. Has Ugarte got the physicality? Is it a rude awakening to say, welcome to the Premiership properly now?
So what game is he going to play?
Well, no, I understand that. But has he got the kahunas to be going up against Villa with their power?
Give me the three, Yabba. Give me the three midfielders that you think complement each.
I wouldn't play Casemiro. I think Casemiro would be good, but I'd go to those three, what he's done there. But
I'd take Bruno out.
I'd take Bruno out for Eriksen.
Yes, Mr. B.
He doesn't waste. You know what it is? You see in that position, as a forward player, you want to be able to, you want to know that if you're right-footed, the ball's going to come on your right side. If you make the run, or you think you're going to make the run, the person who is going to make the pass is not going to waste the pass. Eriksen, that killer pass, Eriksen doesn't waste. And I feel that if he was playing with Højlund, because they have the international chemistry, that's more why I feel that maybe he should be playing instead of Bruno. I mean, I don't know what Juju Bruno did to avoid him not missing the game. I was looking forward to him not playing. You know, I love Bruno. I think Bruno, you know, maybe it was stats, but he's fallen off a cliff. And we did say Man United, they do suck the life out of players. They always start well, you know, and then in time, you know, the United curse takes over them. But, you know, I think Bruno might be on burnout. But, you know, I try to defend a lot of players until it gets to the time where, I don't feel I should be defending no more. But I would have Eriksen in there. I would have Eriksen in there instead of Bruno.
I looked at our stats today.
So one thing, guys, one thing. We're talking about, relationships on the pitch and everything else. Also applies to comments. Lucky Singh and Elite Baller, hold it down. Keep it nice and friendly. And don't cross the line. Don't cross the border, guys, wherever you do. Please. That's from me with respect.
Beautifully put, Yabba.
Thank you, Pastor Yabba.
Yeah. I've completely forgot what I was going to... Oh, I know what I was going to say. I looked at the stats United players today. Eriksen is by far and away our best player this season on all key metrics. If he's fit, I think he has to play. And I didn't notice it, but I think last night Andrew Williams kept saying that Bruno was a lot deeper than Eriksen. And that would suggest that Bruno is in the box-to-box role, which means that he's in direct competition with Kobe. So I think that Bruno and Kobe are not going to be on the pitch together until Ten Hag leaves. I think Eriksen is his number 10 now.
It would be, I tell you what, if he made that move and it paid off, and that was something that we thought he would stick to, then fair play. But I don't drop my captain. I just don't think he's brave enough.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question then, guys. Comparing Eriksen and Bruno, who in the final third do you want to be the most creative player? Who do you think's got more about them to open teams up?
I think Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno's got... See, the thing is, Bruno sees the stuff, but he doesn't always... It doesn't... I don't know. It's weird. Eriksen's more precise in what he's doing. Bruno will probably spam 9. He will probably spam 9 and get 5, where Eriksen will, he'll get the 5, but he's probably only going to waste the 1 pass, where Bruno probably wastes a lot more than the 4 passes that I've said he's going to waste, to be fair. But Bruno has that in him. He's got that in his game, but yeah.
I think for me, Mr. B, looking back at the game yesterday, unless I'm wrong, I think Bruno created 1 chance, and it was a kind of lofted cross to the back post where Casemiro and Rasmus Højlund like tripped over each other. And then when I think back to the goals, a lot of them came, well, all of them came from Eriksen. He crossed for Maguire from the corner. He also got the ball out quickly and accurately to Rashford both times. And but I know what you mean about like who's got the cutting edge and stuff in the box. Eriksen has more goals than Bruno this season, although albeit it's against Barnsley and so on. But I think that for all of the stages in a football match and all the different moments and things you're in, at the moment, Eriksen is performing far better in all of them than Bruno.
And also, Mr. B made a good point. I think Bruno does look for passes, even the percentage-wise. I think in their brains, percentage-wise, I think Eriksen will hit the pass if percentagely he feels he's going to get it over. Otherwise, he'll keep the ball and let it start ticking over again. And I think we know that with him. He's always demanding the ball. He's always comfortable with it. It's nice to see him on the pitch. He dictates. He makes things happen. And just to give him props, when we played Brentford, when he was playing for Brentford, he ran the show against us. Yeah. It's always funny when you watch the opposition play and say, oh, he's good. He's running the show. And it's true. When he plays for us, he does the same thing, but it just doesn't get noticed as much. I love his style of play. I love his brain, how he plays his football. I think that's how most players should play. And I remember Dennis Bergkamp, going back to him again, when Dennis Bergkamp was a coach at Ajax. He was Eriksen was coming through the ranks as a youngster, and Dennis Bergkamp, imagine him he says the most talented youngster I've ever seen in my life. 2 foot.
Really?
Yeah, he said this about Eriksen.
What an Anelka.
Yeah, it's because he's 2-footed and he's got, he can do a bit of everything. And this Bergkamp loves that sort of player, doesn't he? You can imagine him, Bergkamp as a coach, seeing a young Eriksen coming through the ranks. And he said, this guy is the most talented young player I've ever seen. So yeah, we have to give some props.
Who are you playing then? In the number 10, who are you playing?
Well, I think they're slightly different. But for me personally, my personal preference is an Eriksen style of player. Obviously, Bruno has got something about him. But I just like Eriksen's kind of style. The way he keeps the ball, his percentage mindset, where it's like, all right, nothing's on, let me just keep the ball and start again. Rather than Bruno be like, oh, I see a glimpse of something, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So I like that percentage mindset because you give the ball away, everyone's got to run back. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone sighs like, bloody hell, under their breath. When really, with Eriksen, you learn to trust players like that because say, all right, he keeps the ball so well and we stay in possession. He'd rather do that, understanding that logic, rather than give the ball away and try to play that Hollywood pass.
I think it's evidenced as well by the fact that I think we'd all agree that is the best we've seen of Marcus Rashford attacking-wise for certainly over a year. I can't recall a Marcus Rashford performance that's been like that, and it came from Eriksen at 10. Didn't come from Bruno, it came from Eriksen.
Interesting. Okay. Where are we at now?
Probably the comments.
Yeah.
What did you call it at the start of the show? Because you said something Friday. A word you used.
Frivolous? Was it frivolous, he said?
Yes.
Yeah, frivolous Friday. Yeah.
Frivolous.
Yeah, I remember.
I really like that.
I remember.
Right. At the end of the day, guys, we've got to get on with the other subjects. And one of them would be reading the comments. Shall we?
Here we go. We deserve better. Am I the only person outraged at Eriksen on the end of the season? He's chasing a contract renewal or tried to attract a new club that he's finally turned up. Do you know what? I'm not sure he's finally turned up. I just think he's been given a chance. It could be that, but that's fine. Because as long as we don't give him the contract, then it doesn't matter. Elite baller, Eriksen.
Sorry, Mr. B.
Oh, sorry. Eriksen makes the right pass 95% of the time. Bruno makes the right pass 40% of the time.
That's interesting.
He's just Simon Warner's just reiterating what you said there. Bath time. Was there anything else on there? No, I'm not going all the way up here, man. Sorry, guys, I'm not doing it. Let me take this off. Remove that.
Yeah, just to go back to Eriksen as well. I think what a career he's had. this is someone. I know he went to Inter Milan, but with all the talent he's got, he is a really talented player. He stayed at Tottenham too long, in my opinion. I think he could have been.
He tried to force his way out of Tottenham, but
he did.
Levy wouldn't. Yeah, Levy wouldn't have it. I remember he tweeted about how in Championship Manager it's impossible to keep players like who want to leave, but in real life you can't get away.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he stayed like 3 years more than he wanted. I think Manchester City were after him. Maybe as a David Silva replacement, it'd been a good.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, that's a good. I was trying to think of a club which would suit him, and I think Man City, would definitely suit him. He's that talented. And you look what. Yeah, you're right. No, you're exactly right. You look at Gundogan.
Works hard as well.
Yeah, how effective he is. That he's such a great player, Eriksen. Just if he looks back at his career, I think he would have a few regrets about staying at a certain club too long.
He could have been a bit like Modric, to be honest. Like, if he'd gone to Barcelona or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to remember that he's the only one of the Bale players that ever did well. Like, so he came in like with that Bale money, and he was a huge part, I think, of Pochettino's team, wasn't he? That like,
he was.
Came sort of third and things like that, and. He at that time he could have moved to a real European giant, but Levy wouldn't let him go, and Ten Hag has never really used him, despite him and Casemiro being the marquee signings to revamp our midfield.
Okay, while Mr. B is taking a little break, I'm going to ask you a few questions, Bath Time.
Sure.
First one being, you said the goalkeeper, a defender, a fullback,
yes,
midfielder, winger, and a striker. Combine the two. The fantastic one was his name, Dan Mata.
Well, okay. For goalkeeper, I think Anana and De Gea, like De Gea's shop stopping, Anana's on the ball play.
So what would you call him? David Anana?
Andre De Gea. But it's not about like what we call them. I know you're into this, but
fullback.
Who would you fullback?
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think. Was there anything that Dennis Irwin lacked? Because I think he's our best fullback. Pace?
Yeah, I would say probably pace. Asking that 4-0 defeat against Barcelona away.
Yeah.
95. He got burnt by.
Do you know who I'm doing? I know who I'm doing. I'm doing Evra and Valencia. Valencia's physicality with Irwin's
very good
understanding of the game, his technique, and so on.
Very good. Defensive, say centre back.
I will do, but I just want to remind people in chat, if you could put your things in again, we will show them when they come up. So 2 Manchester United players, we'll do them. Right, centre back. I think I'm going to go for Bruce and Ferdinand.
Good one. What's Bruce got that Ferdinand has got then?
I think that Bruce was a better defender overall in terms of reading the game, space, ability to shut men down and so on. And also, like, I think he's a proper defender, and I never got the impression that Rio enjoyed defending as much as the others. Like Vidic enjoyed defending. Rio, I think, was more of a sort of he was a ball player, wasn't he? And enjoyed the sort of time and space. But I think that if you combine Bruce's love of defending, his physicality, like all the goals that he try-harded in from corners and things, that real desire, and you give him the ball playing of Rio Ferdinand, you've got essentially a sort of deluxe Yap Stam.
Okay, Tyrone's saying here Stam and Vidic, but why? I mean, to me they're quite similar. I'm trying to look for a player. If you combine them, they'd be a complete player. I think Stam and Vidic are quite similar, but yeah, I
saw someone say York and Cole earlier.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
Yeah, because they kind of were one player.
Centre midfielder, Bath Time. Who's you're combining two players to make a brilliant player with the attributes that they have. So centre midfielder for Man United, both play for Man United.
Muck Veron. McTominay and Veron.
Yeah, wow, that's good. Yeah.
You're muted, Mr. B.
Yeah,
Thank
needed
God.
to say why.
No, so I'm not gonna. That's quite. I would have Veron in there. I'm not having Scott anywhere near any.
All right. What about?
player.
I was going to say Carrick and Veron, but like Park Ji-sung, Fletcher and Veron, Park Ji-sung and Veron.
Yeah, because you're looking for more. What you look? What's
energy? I thought it was energy.
Physicality, desire.
Okay, so someone who plays with who's got desire.
Park and Veron. I'll take Park and Veron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would take Park and Veron.
Veron is a real regret because he genuinely is one of the best players like in Europe at the time. Like he's, in my opinion, there's only ever been a couple of real world-class players that have come to the Premier League. Like someone like Thierry Henry became a world-class player in the Premier League. But for me, really only Pogba and Veron, when they came, were truly world-class players.
And Dennis Bergkamp, come on, man.
Do you think he's on the bench?
Do you think he was world-class when he left?
Look at 1992, 1994 internationals. He was doing what he's doing for Holland. Ask about what he did at Wembley, 2-2. Go and look what he did in Euro 96. Yeah, I just think in 92, to go look at 92, at that time, imagine this, Van Basten and Bergkamp were playing. Van Basten obviously had his ankle problem, but Bergkamp, that's when he started to come into on the world stage, and that he was a quality world-class player at that point.
All right, I've thought of another one, right? Very, very obvious one. Roy Keane, Paul Pogba.
Yes. Yes.
Is that the best one?
You don't need to explain that. That's brilliant.
God. Yeah.
Can I just say, guys in the comments, try and make them the same position. You got Steve Bruce with Lee Sharp and Ince. All right.
Do you know what?
Go on.
Can you imagine that player?
Yeah.
Oh my word! That's the best.
Imagine this player.
That's the best.
I actually really like Quinton Fortune, but Jemba and Quinton Fortune.
Was Jemba actually a bad player?
Yes.
Like,
I think he turned out to be.
I'm not sure. I thought he was.
Just go forever the optimist. Go, Mr. Glassfall. Jemba was rubbish.
He got smashed. Obviously, his reputation got smashed at the club. But for what? What reason though? What did he do wrong?
Because he was rubbish.
Okay.
Well, he probably didn't step up to it. It's like, I think I saw Bebe score an absolutely outrageous free kick in AFCON last year. Yeah, only a real player can score a free kick like that, and it didn't really sort of work out for them. Like, you know, Karol Proborski, I never felt really kind of stepped up. Jordi Cruyff was another one.
We shouldn't have bought Proborski though. We bought him after his performance in the Euros, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jordi Cruyff one was a weird one. I didn't get that one. I wasn't fond of him.
The reason I
that's a superb one. Sorry, I saw one in the comments.
What, Pearl and Pace?
Get it up.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Giggs and Nanny.
Let me do it. You don't know which one I'm going to pick. Giggs and Nanny.
Good
Giggs
one.
with a little bit of Nanny's flair. And his goal scoring, because Giggs wasn't great in the box as a finisher. Like, I think
was Nanny a finisher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we had a lot of skill.
He was very, very good at long shots. Yeah, and he had more, like, because Giggs, I don't want to say he's like Haaland in terms of being a robot, but Giggs did predictable stuff better than anyone else. It's a bit like, you know, Robin was so predictable what he was going to do, he still couldn't stop it. But Nanny was like one of these players that I always think are like alchemists, where they're improvising and stuff like that. And I felt that Giggsy didn't really improvise too much.
I've got one. Retro's got one here.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a great one. I thought Højlund and Falcao, but Højlund and Ruud, imagine.
Wow.
I'd actually say Højlund and
Saha. Couldn't we have Højlund?
Ruud and
Xerxes.
Wow. They're both at the club right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let's upgrade that medical equipment and do the world's first brain transplant. I'd like to see
guys. Let's say hi to Jules. How you doing? Say hi, guys. Welcome.
Yeah, he's on Rich's channel. Hello.
All right,
how you doing,
Jules,
man?
I'm asking you: can you combine two players to make a perfect player in the Premiership era that both play for Man United and maybe the same position as well? We're trying to go through that now.
Larson and Falcao.
Ooh,
what's Larson's got that Falcao hasn't got?
He finished. Falcao didn't.
I think that Henrik Larsson was had brilliant work rate and off the ball movement, and Falcao was someone. He was destroyed by that Leicester game. Was it 5-3? Like where Jamie Vardy scored against us. We lost 5-3 under Van Gaal, I think. And we were 2-0 up. And in the first half, Falcao looked incredible. He was doing these lovely clip crosses at the back post of Van Persie. And they might not have been the best of players, but I the best players that we've had. They're both, they're both their country's best ever forwards, certainly in that conversation. But I just I would instead of sort of Sharp and Beckham, I want to get two rubbish players and make them into a great player. So not rubbish players, imagine Chicharito with Luis Sar's hold-up play.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, Fellaini with Mark Hughes' volleying ability, so you can chest it and then volley it.
So couldn't we have Mark Hughes and Højlund? We always moan about the fact that he doesn't have that hold-up. By the way, Mark Gemini, long time no see, boy. I see that work's been keeping you very, very busy, boy. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah. Højlund, we say that his first touch isn't great and he ain't got no hold-up play.
So Berbatov.
Oh my God.
I still think, even though we say he hasn't got hold-up players, I still don't think Højlund's got finishing ability. So he needs.
Don't you?
No,
he just wants to hit the ball hard, didn't it?
Lukaku and Berbatov.
Yeah, that could work. I was like,
Lukaku, nobody. I'm not having Lukaku.
Because his first touch was so bad. Give him Berba's first touch.
Yeah, but he missed more than
goal scorer than Højlund.
I saw what I'd love to see Højlund do eventually next couple of years. Did anyone see that game with Red Bull and Juve during the week? And Vlahovic scored a great goal.
I don't watch other. I'll be honest. I don't watch other teams play.
Then you watch the 2-minute highlights on YouTube.
I ain't got time for that, bro. I don't watch other teams.
Remember him, Vlahovic, the left-footed Serbian from Juve. He used to play for Fiorentina. He's someone I'm looking at and saying, you're left-footed. You've got that similar to Højlund, but he's got a bit more about him when it comes to finishing. And I want to see Højlund step up his finishing on that sort of level. Go and watch Vlahovic's goal in the Champions League. It's just movement and finishing. Really good. Really, really good. I've yet to see that from Højlund.
Jules has got
good shout, Jules.
Christian Eriksen's legs. Christian Eriksen with the legs and energy of Nicky Butt.
Good shout.
Yeah. Do you think if you're going for that argument though, I think Park Ji-sung is the better. 3 longs is the better one to go for there. No.
Elite baller.
I think Nicky Butt. That's for me. That's a good one. But I see where you're going.
Elite baller's gone Dr. J and Dr. Spock. I think he's the Friday feelings finally kicked in there. And then Mark Harris has got Bruno and the
but here's one for you. You love Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
What player would you combine him with so that everyone else could have the same impression of him that you do at this moment?
The thing is, everyone, I'll be honest, I love him. He wins his headers really well. He's good on the ball. He can spray balls as well. Where he gets caught out is making stupid mistakes, like headbutting Bob. What did he do to Pogba that time? He ran into
said
calamity, falling down. The other day against FC20. So that means decision making and the timing, things like that. So I think of a player who's got good decision making, can pinch the ball at the right time, good timing, and as a stand-up player. So probably Rio Ferdinand would come to mind for United.
Guys,
Mr. B, Rashford's
Yeah.
your favourite player.
yeah,
But who do you combine him with to make him the Marcus
David
Rashford
Beckham.
that you see?
David Beckham, because David
Okay.
Beckham could see a pass.
Why?
Because he could see a pass. Rashford don't pass.
Yeah, good
And
shout.
David Beckham was the first person that came into my head who would assist. If there's somebody out there who tells me who likes assisting players, and I would take them gladly. But that's the part of Rashford's games where I want any of them to be able to assist.
I thought
But
you were
look,
going
guys,
to say Tevez.
do you know what? I really loved Tevez when he was at our club, but because he fucked off to Man City,
Yeah.
And he was still a good player. He wasn't shit when he went. Andy Cole when he left was shit. Schmeichel when he left, they were shit. But Tevez went there like a proper player. So now I'm not having Tevez.
Good night, Simon Warner. He's gone, bigging us up. Thanks, Simon. Simon, before you go, give us a score prediction about it, because we talked about it.
Simon
Simon,
said 3-0 Villa.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to assume Yaba. You haven't changed anybody else's mind.
Yeah, I said
yeah. At the end of the day, boy, nobody could be bothered with your shit, man. It didn't work. It didn't work. But guys, look, we need some score predictions. Are we going to surprise them? Oh. What did Cleberson do?
Yeah.
What is this one?
Who's Ricardo?
Who's Ricardo?
I don't know. My first thought was Ricardo Fuller from Stoke, a player I used to quite like.
I am titanium.
Called Ricardo?
Oh.
Yeah, Barker did that one, didn't he? All right, Mr. B, score prediction. We're playing away from home. I think Villa will score goals. It's down to us to really stand up and represent. If Harry Maguire plays, I think we have a better chance of winning this game. It's just about we need to score more than one goal without conceding loads. It's easy to say that, but I think we're onto something. At the start of the show, BATHTIME mentioned a hangover that they might have after that great victory against Bayern Munich. Can they get the levels up again? Even though they've had one more day's rest than us and we've had to travel. But I think we're on it. I think the side can do the business. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, late goal again, like we did the other day, but this time as a winner. 2-1 Man United, and then we're going to speak to the board. Ten Hag will be on the phone and say, yeah, and what, Ineos? Yeah, that's what we want to see. 2-1 Man United.
Sorry.
I like that one. We've had a couple of off-key ones, but that's one of the better ones.
Yeah, but you know somebody with Ten Hag, I found he does get a bit confident. And if he feels like, yeah, I've done the business, he shows it. He really does show a bit of air of arrogance. Not arrogance, but confidence. Sometimes.
Well, guess what? He's got no reason to be confident because that result during the week wasn't. Normally, it probably would have been a good result, but the fact that we went 2-0 up. I mean, look, I don't know how much goals we have to score to not lose to score first, but I don't see us winning the game. I would love us to. I would love him to prove us wrong, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, we could lose the game and he still don't get sacked. Let's be honest. That could still happen. So I will do Villa 2-1.
Oh, 2 weeks in 2 games in a row, you've gone for a loss.
So what? Listen, I'm not going to sit here like so. You know what it is? I'm sick of thinking that we're a good team.
Yeah.
After the 20 game, the realization, long after everybody else has, it's now kicked in that we're shit. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the players we've got. I wanted Ten Hag to succeed. I had a poster of him. I spent money on a poster. I actually spent my money on a poster. And you know what the poster is? Under my bed. Under my bed.
I'm scared the kids.
I'm hoping I could actually take out and wave it. I would love nothing more than that, but I think he's done. 2-1.
Okay. BATHTIME, over to you.
We've got a tremendously good record against Villa, but under Ten Hag, we know the records are made to be broken. I don't believe in the team. Yabba is my big thing. Like, as individuals, all fantastic, all great. Like, well, not all fantastic, but they're all very good Premier League players. But as a collective, they lack passion, leadership, cohesion, desire, and that is everything that Villa have. So I'm gonna say 1-1, just more in hope than anything.
Jesus.
I thought you were going to say so at the end of the day. I'm going to say 1-1. But you didn't.
I didn't. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
The reason we're saying that, because if you look at Mr. B's top with the Man United agenda thing, says at the end of the day, and apparently Mr. B used to say that as a slogan a lot, but I think Errol's the only one who can, Solo's the only one who can recall that. I don't remember you saying that at all.
Yeah, his mind's clear. He's the only one with a clear mind, isn't it? Everybody else is a bit hazy. Well, mine is, yours might not be, but it is what it is. Guys,
there's a comment here. What do you think about two players that have been mentioned this week? Well, one player and one manager. What are your thoughts on Martinez, the goalkeeper? Because BATHTIME brought up a quote the other day about what his teammates were telling him to do: go to a bigger club because you're world class. You're one of the best goalkeepers in world football. And this is a guy who Arsenal didn't want. What do you think about another player or manager that Arsenal didn't want with Unai Emery, who's obviously done the business against us for Villarreal?
Why is he gonna come? Why is he gonna come to United? Why is he gonna come to us? Let's be honest.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but what do you think of them? Do you think like the Martinez is actually world class? What about the World Cup save he made against Mbappe the other day against Bayern Munich? He made
Martinez is better than Onana.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, I think Martinez.
Of course, he's better. Yeah,
he's got the personality.
Because
remember Colombia in the Copa America penalty shootout.
Yeah, dancing. Was it Yobo, the Everton defender?
Yeah. So you agree then? Martinez is world class.
I don't think he's world class. Just on the basis that for me, world class is that you should have a world 11, and everyone in that 11 is world class. And I think that Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. But I think that Martinez could be the most balanced all-round goalkeeper in the world, the best at it, because Ederson, like, he's basically like an outfield player. I saw him doing back heels against Newcastle from centre midfield. Like, what's going on there? And then you've got Alisson, but I mean, I saw Schmeichel recently say that Alisson's footwork is a little bit suspect, but he's probably the best goal-scoring goalkeeper in the world. But I think Martinez all-round gives you everything that you need. Onana's been fantastic this season, make no bones about it. But Martinez, I think, has the personality of a United player, and I don't think Onana does.
What about the manager then, Emery? How good does he get his dues? He was at PSG. They say he can't manage big clubs. So he was at Seville. He was at Villarreal, won Europa Leagues. Went to Arsenal. They got rid of him. Went to PSG. They got rid of him. Where's he at in the list of managers, top managers?
He's found his home. He's found his home. He's found his home, man. It's, Arsenal was always going to be hard coming in on after Wenger. PSG had 3 players who you couldn't ask to track back and help. So he was tied, Villa have given him maybe not everything he wanted at the beginning, but guaranteed whatever he wants now, he gets. And he's earned that right. So fair play to him.
I also think that Emery doesn't have the personality to manage a big club. Okay. Just based off his track record. I'd love him at Manchester United, but it's just the age that we live in where Ange Postecoglou is highly rated because he's charismatic and he's funny and he calls people mate in press conferences, and Emery can't say good evening. Like these things are so silly, but they make a difference. And I think that I think if Jose failed, if Louis van Gaal failed, I don't think that Emery has a chance at succeeding against Manchester United. He doesn't have their force of will.
Okay. Some funny comments coming through. Sorry we didn't get to touch on them all, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's 2:00 kickoff, Mr. B, is it?
Yeah, 2:00. I won't be. I'm at my mother's house.
What time's kickoff?
2:00.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking about getting sent off in your game halftime.
Yeah, I'm thinking early sub. But... oh dear.
I'm usually back by 1 after football, but yeah, we should be able to get it done. All right.
I like to go to the clubhouse and things, and
debrief, man.
Yeah, I don't want to sort of say like, we win the game, handshakes, thanks for your hard work, and then piss off. Like that's not what being a team is about.
Have you got a clubhouse? Yeah, but
no, we have a pub.
You got a point. Something that you use.
Yeah.
We got a pub as well called the Crown in Norfolk. But they sponsor us, but we need to turn up. It's just hard getting everyone there because we need something more central where everyone can reach. And it tends to got to the point where we had a culture where everyone used to go to the pub after the game, and then suddenly people were making excuses. And
Gen X don't drink. Gen Zs don't drink anymore. They're into coffee and hot chocolate.
Yeah, and then we had the 3 Muslim boys last season. They refused. It was haram for them to drink. So
we didn't have to drink. They could have left them outside with a bottle of water on the side, no? Oh, look.
We don't have that issue in Wales. They all love a drink. But yeah, it's a lot easier when you win the game, to be honest, to be able to get people to do stuff.
I mean, look at Elite Brewer. Look at these comments. Look at Andrew. Look at these comments coming through. Guys, brilliant.
It shows they're probably bored and it's time to watch.
Yeah. Guys,
oh my god,
it is that time. We will be back on Sunday with the reaction. I can't promise you what time it will be, but there will be some sort of reaction. So look, just hit the notification button. If you are new, look, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. If there's nothing else that we have to say, it's like a notch from me.
Like a notch.
We've got a big guest coming up next week.
Oh, sherbet and lemons. Yeah. And let me tell you something, right? This is how bad my short-term memory is. 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. I've got my phone in my hand, and I've looked at the message, and I've said yes. I'm going to say it, and guess what? I would have gone and forgotten. Guys, we got Jay Motti coming on the show on Thursday. I'm not going to tell you what time because he hasn't told us, but I can't tell you what time. But it's either going to be 8 or 8:30. So if you've got any questions, slightly polite, but we're going to have to block you for the night, mate, because we know what you're like. But yeah, look, we'll be filling everybody in. So yeah, look, he's on next Thursday. It's been a while. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, I think he's still he's like you on Monday. I still think he's 10 Hag in.
No, what it is, he's a supporter of the club, no matter what.
Okay, well, that means he's 10 Hag out then. That means he's 10 Hag. No, listen, that's the diplomatic way of saying, you know what I mean? You can't say, what he maybe really wants. Maybe he is. He just has the best interest for the club. But yeah, look, he will be here on Thursday. So just make sure you do. Ric Flair and Gloria Hunt. I have no idea what the hell is going on.
I like this one.
Wow.
I like this one because that's about hair.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I'm not into that biased business. Let's not get it twisted. We start having to block people for baldism. You know what I mean?
Do you accept Ten Hag as a member of the bald community, or have you disowned him? Do you rebuke him?
He actually shaves his hair. He's not proper bald. He's got hair like he's not proper bald. He wants to be bald.
Yeah, who's the politician now?
Yes, before he goes out, he shaves his hair. He's actually got hair like Fellaini if you let it grow. But because he wants to be the hard nut, that's why he shaves his hair. So no, I'm not having that he's bald. He's got if he let it grow for 2 weeks, he'd have a proper afro, man. I ain't having him in my club. Fuck that, bro. Listen.
All right, lack a notch.
Yeah, lack a notch. Come on. Lack a notch and lack a notch.
Lack a notch.